She said a dollar dance. Let's talk about a dollar dance. Talk to a man at the flea market like a dollar dance. What's that supposed to mean, man? A dollar the dance. I only had 75 cents. I talk about a whole dance. Hey, man. Sometimes in life, everything's about compromise. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to offer any advice to this gentleman if you see him in public. There's nothing that you can say is going to make him happy. Welcome, my friends. Look at this. I have an electric instrument. Does that make you happy? I know a lot of you people like it, kind of bummed out when I have something that's like less than like popular. This will certainly be a popular instrument because I know there are many of them produced. So this episode will be viewed by many people. So I'm going to be on my best behavior because I want to make new friends and I want to influence people in the new year, in the new era, in the new world order. Now, in that case, I got to tell you about the flea market and when I found this. Now, I only got it last week and I don't remember anything about it. I have no idea how much I paid for it. I don't know exactly which flea market I got it at. I'm pretty sure I know it was one of my favorites. It eludes me. I just picked it up at the last minute. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I don't remember exactly what happened. I think I paid $10 for it, I believe. But I was very happy to get it because it is actually a beautiful instrument. It has a lot of nice little accoutrements made by Samick right alongside the early Squires, but made of better material. Because these, I believe, St. Louis Music demanded they made them with hard, solid wood, as opposed to a lot of the, Squire, Stratocasters of the same era, early 90s, were made of particle board, made of garbage, made of plywood and stuff. This is a solid piece of wood. This is William being woody. It also has a nice humbucker here. It's got a 5-way switch. Its model number is officially model ELG-01BK. That makes me happy that it has that sticker because my heart is always a little bit happier with a sticker on an instrument. And it's got these stickers on it too. And part of me says, hey man, what if this is a famous person's instrument, man? I'll kind of cool stickers on it. Part of me is like, fuck that motherfucker putting stickers on my instrument, man. How dare they? So these stickers, take a look at them now. Just take a look at them now. Because they're gonna get ripped off. And you're never gonna see them again. So I really have nothing else to say other than that. I really love crate instruments. I have so many crate amplifiers. I always wanted a crate guitar. I swore I saw a crate guitar a couple years ago. I was in the Caribbean. I thought that this guy was playing on a crate instrument. I looked closer. It was the first act. Hey man, sometimes I make mistakes when I try to identify something in my mind, but it was the first act. So here we go, man. We're gonna put it on the slab. I'm gonna study it a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer. I want to show you my brand new crate Strat. Come a little bit closer. 1, 2, 3. So I filmed that intro yesterday. Today I went to the swap meet and I saw the guy I bought this off of a couple weeks ago. I remembered who I bought it off of. There's this black guy, probably about my age. He's always got some pretty mildly interesting gear, not stuff to like turn heads, but it's always mildly interesting. And I've always sort of like, hey, what's this, old Ampeg, $7,500, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's always got like a big number in mind for everything. Thinks everything's worth more than it really is. One of them type of sellers, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who's like an overshooter. And so he had this, and I always wanted a crate, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, 35. I was like, 20. He's like, come on, man, 30. And I was like, I'm walking away, man. 25 last offer. And that's how it went down. And I was like, halfway gone. He's like, all right. You're taking this out of me. I'm only making $5. And he's getting all. He's like, I'm only making $7.50. He's like a real mathematician. That's his seller instinct, man. These are the same type of strap buttons that are on those Epiphones, Samicks. You know what I'm saying, man? Made by Samick with the good stuff, man. Hey, man. Talk about the good stuff. Full set of strings. Just got to really do the tap test on the amplifier. So let's hook it up to the amplifier right now. And if it works, I'll see you in the laboratory. If it doesn't work, I'll also see you in the laboratory. But I'll know what we need to do. I'll tell you then. My friend, He-Man. Welcome back to the laboratory. Actually, pretty nice. It's got these little special tuning keys on there that we see on all these crates, man. Electra, man. Luckily, there's only one sticker on the pick guard. Because these stickers are from like the 90s and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like all faded shit around it. I plugged it in. It sounds fucking great. It's got all the strings. The action is fucking gorgeous butter. You know what I'm saying? We just got to take these stupid fucking stickers off, man. They're definitely old. The instrument is gorgeous. And I went down to the swap meet today and I remembered exactly where I got it. There's this like black guy that sets up in this one junction. Junction of like 2 or 3 rows, man. They all come together like, you know what I mean? A special like little point. And he sort of like, either one side of this, usually he's got some gear there. He's like a couple high, you know what I mean, high price item table. You know, you don't have all kinds of smalls on there. You got like a couple guitars usually, a nice old amplifier, and like, you know what I mean, a Buick engine. You know what I'm saying? Like something just like large and bizarre that's like costly. He's looking for the big fucking spender, man. He ain't got time to get out of his little car. You know what I mean? To deal with people like, I'll give you $1 for this, my friend. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time for that. But anyway, I saw this guy down at the swap meet again this morning. You know what I mean? I saw him in action. He was crying poverty. Some guy trying to buy a sawzall off of him. He was like getting all crazy, getting wild with the guy. You know what I mean? Jumping up and down and stuff. I was like, oh, that's the guy. Yeah, he's like crazy. He's definitely a character. I collect characters. So, you know what I mean? As I noted earlier, he made $7.50 off our transaction. You know what I mean? The karmic wheel keeps spinning. Provenance aside, man, plays good. Action's good. It's very dirty. Horribly dirty. Disgustingly dirty, but it's incredibly intact. Everything's here. You know what I'm saying? Every sticker's here. Every gorgeous piece is like, you know what I mean? This, we might want to pop this guy off and try to tap him back out, man. You got a couple little tiny small things to do, right? Like I said, just loosen these strings so we can get in here and clean this up, man. It's already been plugged in. It's already been tested. We might want to pry this guy up a little bit and spray him out with some cleaner. You know what I mean? Just for the shits and giggles, man. Just for shits and giggles. So, the two-fer for the rest of this month, man, we're going to focus on this shit, man. Old stickers, man. I'm going to have 2 guitars that are covered with stickers, and I'm going to think about taking the stickers off, then I'm going to take the stickers off. Just because that's the way I feel about both these instruments I'm going to present to you over the rest of this month, man. Gorgeous, gorgeous month of May, right? So may I was going to do a two-fer with the crate. You know, I have another crate amp, cool crate amp that I just got too. But I was like, you know, I'm going to save that for amp month. I'm going to save this for amp month because I don't really have, you know what I mean, buy amps that much anymore. They're just too big. Starting to like, you know what I mean, come to my limit. So let's loosen these strings a little bit. And then after loosening the strings a little tiny bit, I'm going to pop this guy off, man. So I might as well start with the smalls, man. Hey. I ain't got time for no little nitty gritties, man. I just want to get inside them titties. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it off. I'll see you then. Alright, so we've slackened the strings. So they're basically to this point. You know what I'm saying? That's just a preamble to the things we're going to do to this little guitar. That's just the beginning, baby. But also it helps us with this particular thing. It's not under total tension. So we took the cover off carefully without trying to move the gear and tuner itself, and we have this pretty badly dented in. So we're gonna get something that's just sort of, you know what I mean, tap this guy out with. You know, we got a whole bunch of tap hammers in here. All kinds of little tipper tappers in there. You know what I'm saying? We'll just find one, you know what I mean, after we find something to, you know what I mean? I'll show you the next scene after we've already flattened our lives. Flatten ourselves out and I'll show you how I did. Alright, so we use these two tack hammers here. I call them tap hammers. A couple different tools, you know what I mean, to sort of flatten it. We use this little piece of popsicle stick as a cushion. And we pretty much did a lot of work over this little piece of foam that's stuck to this board. Sometimes we did it right to the board. Sometimes a screwdriver for the corners. You know. But I mean, that's as good as we can do without, you know what I mean, physically having to, you know what I mean, burnish the outside of it and re-chroming it and such, you know what I mean. You don't want to bust through this little chrome that's already on there. So, I mean, that's good enough. Good enough, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't get too detailed without messing up that chrome, man. Hey, man, it looks better than it did. It's much better than it did. So we'll put this guy back on. We'll screw it on, right? Once we're screwed on, we'll flip it around. We'll go on to our next DLC of that and print. And there it is, man. Can't really see like any drama, really. Just a little slight sign of trauma. You know what I'm saying? What would the world be without trauma? So what have we dedicated to the unfinished task before us? The proclamation of the proclivity. This stuff, man. This stuff. This ridiculous stuff, man, called stikers, man. I do not like stikers. I do not like them, Sam. I am. So let's just try to peel off what we can, and then we'll have to hit them up with some kind of solvent. If you got a problem, yo, I'll solvent. Let's try to just peel them off. See how far we get. Yo, Gertie. Gertie the first dinosaur. So the stickers came off without any fight at all. Not leaving any kind of residue at all, really. We put all the stickers on a piece of wax paper, and we're just going to fold it up and put it away, just in case this is like, you know, a famous guitar. You know what I'm saying? And then Kurt gave me the guitar for all the heroin I had on my pocket. He told me it was his first instrument, and the stickers belonged to Jesus Christ, who gave them to him when he visited him in a dream. Unfortunately, I hocked the guitar for some more heroin, which Kurt gave me his sweater from the Unplugged video. And then I took that sweater and accidentally lit it on fire. Peace be with you. Always. So we're going to start trying to get this guy clean, man. Got some old window cleaner. This is what we call fake Windex. Right? It's made out of Viagra. Niagara Falls, man. We're going to try to clean it up. There's still a little tiny bit of adhesive from here. You know what I mean? We might have to deal with that separately, but I think everything's pretty much going to come off and look kind of spiffy. So this is all like a poly job, man. We're going to clean everything. Everything. Just try to get the major scum off. The major scum, right? That's why we use this. I'll see you after that. Right? Right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We just got everything cleaned off of most of the scum. There's lots of scum. Here's one of the few examples where, like, a sticker actually left a yellow mark on a pick guard as opposed to leaving a white mark with yellow around it. You know what I mean? The adhesive actually, you know what I'm saying? This stuff just takes off even yellow sometimes, man. It's great. It's absolutely terrific. This part right here, we went to town with a little tiny bottle brush and a pipe cleaner. You know, we used the vinegar, man. It looks great. It looks perfect. And we got, you know, I'm saying like 93% of the scum off. I mean, there was lots of fucking scum on this thing. It's filthy. Filthy animals. Filthy animals. So, our next step in the game here, we're going to take some of this alcohol. Tom Hanks was drinking a bottle of this, I remember, on Family Ties one time, man. Tom Hanks was a guest star on Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. And he was played like the drunk cousin. And he came over and he drank like a bottle of rubbing alcohol. And he tried to make out with the mom. It's crazy, man. I think he did make out with her. And I think that he was the father of the young one. Hey, man. Just trivia, man. Anyway, so I got a piece of magic erase sponge. We're going to take this alcohol. We're going to put it on that sponge. You know what I mean? Tom Hanks aside. And we're just going to scrub the shit out of these toppers. And these knobbers. Toppers and knobbers. Look at the knobbers are real dirt. real dirt. Look at that one particularly. Well, I put my finger inside my arse hole to clean out the poop before I use the turbo paper, and then I play my gear. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, man. Let's not talk about that. It's just fucking over the line, man. Couldn't see it was time to come home. So I pretty much exhausted that whole Magic Erase sponge, but we got everything nice and clean, cleanly, looking real white. Right, and then we went up here. These were a little bit more rusty, and we took this guy here, right? Gorgeous, right? Brass brush, sort of, you know what I'm saying? We deloused it. It was filthy. Deloused, appropriate word. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna unscrew all these ones on the south side of the perimeter. Right. We're going to take a little bit of electronic cleaner and we're going to try to clean the electronicals. Well, see, when we get this unscrewed, I'll give you like a little tiny sneak peek of the electronicals on this bad boy. Ready? 1, 2. Alright, so we got it unscrewed. We got all the screws in line so we know where they came from. This electronics on this bad boy, the crap de la crap, man. These are the crap de la crap. Take a good look, man. It's nothing but garbage, man. Pickups look to be alright. You can see in the distance, man. But it's pretty much garbage. It's got one of those, you know what I'm saying? The early Squire switches. Right. It's kind of rusty, dusty. Got the long nose, man. Hey, man. That's mine, man. The fuck, bro? My micro doser, man. Let's get it all cleared out, man. While we're clearing it, we're going to or even do this guy, man. Because these are known to fail, man. Mine failed my Epiphone, man. You little piece of that, man. I need this straw first. Alright, so we got it propped open a little bit with this brush. Sprayed it down real good. I'll let it dry for 5 minutes. Put the screws back in. And I'll see if that turned, right? We'll let it dry off though for a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? These are real limber now. Really limber. Everything's like working like it should be, man. Excited about that. Look at this like fucking bowl of fucking dust that I got out of this chamber here, man. I mean, how they got in the corner there, I will never know, man. Don't really want to know. I'll see you in a second. There we go, man. We're all sealed up again, man. It's like cleaning out the electronics like with the lazy man stance. Hey, man, we're just halfway leaning. Not doing too much work but pushing. So, now what are we going to do? Well, that's a good question. The answer is, yeah, we're just going to clean it up again, man. Because, I mean, we got the shit off of it, but we didn't really refine it, man. And I'm going to put some cleaner wax on top of it. The cleaner wax just, like, works like a charm with this guy, man. It's hand in hand. It's like fucking ebony and ivory, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Paul and Stevie just dancing around with their hands in each other's pockets. Everywhere, but not here. You know what's coming for that, man. Because you've seen this show before. Ooh, that's kind of really nice. It's really like a sturdy instrument, man. I love this thing, man. I love it already. Now there's going to be some little patches of like where it's hit white molding. So we're going to have to take another Magic Erase sponge and just like sort of rub it out with this head, man. Well, you care what I rub it out with, man. Maybe I'll use glue with my own spit, man. Or some previous spooge, man. I can go several times in a row, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you after we've been totally greased up with this stuff, man. This is what we call Dollar Tree Pledge, man. Dollar Tree Pledge, man. Peace be with you always. Squeeze my lemon until it's dripping down my leg. Hey, man, we 40 lemon pledge to share this bad boy. It's beautiful. It's shimmer, shining. Son of a Ivory Coast, man. It's gorgeous. Love it. All traces of paint is gone. Looks good, man. Very proud. Proud of it. After we're done with that, we just took it, man. We smeared it on this fretboard. This fretboard was so dirty. There was just so much smick on it. And we just let that set for 2 minutes. And just I saw it like loosening. And I took this big Magic Erase sponge. This is all that's left of it. It was a big, healthy one, man. I just, you know what I mean, fret by fret, just cleaned it out. The frets are in beautiful condition. They were just so disgustingly dirty, man. Disgustingly dirty, man. So that was, about 5 minutes ago, and it's already like seeped in all the phony pledge. So we're gonna let it seep in a little bit more. I got another step I want to do, but I'm gonna do it in a minute. See this, man? This is all nicked up, man. Nicked out, man. Don't take this guy, man, and just make a sad song better, man. You know what I'm saying? Jojo da jo da 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 Choo choo da choo da choo da 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 da. Looks much better, man. You barely even notice it, man. You don't even want to think about it anymore, man. So let's not. Right? And say we didn't. We didn't. See this, man? That's mineral. Put it in apple juice and make you take a shit. Put it smeared into this guy, man. Smeared in there with a piece of steel wool. Just sort of buff up these frets a little bit too, man. Finishing steel wool, the finest of the fine, man. Nothing too coarse for my old lady. Nothing too coarse for my old lady. My lady friend. I see we're all greased up, friend. Right? I showed them one's greased. So we're all greased up with that mineral oil, which we've applied with the steel wool. And then I sort of got rid of the last kind of bits of crap in there. And also sort of dressed the frets quite a bit. You know what I mean? Got rid of some of that light string wear on there. So they're like perfect condition frets now. So we're going to let this sit in there about 25 minutes, I suppose. Right? And then after that, we're going to wipe it off clean. And that's the point. I'll see you right before we wipe it down. This is a thirsty rosewood. A thirsty, thirsty rosewood indeed. See you in about 25, 30 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 24 and a half minutes, man. I think that's all I'm going to let it go. I mean, this is a real thirsty, thirsty rosewood. It's just sopping it up, man. Especially up here, man. But I don't want it, like, greasing up the couch. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't want it to be oozing grease. You know what I'm saying? So let's dry that off and let it set for a good hour or so. You know what I mean? Just let the, rosewood sort of settle. Just dry and cure out, my friend. I'll see you then. It's just all wiped off. That's very fun to know, William. Now, while this is still sort of got like remnants of like molecules of that, pledge on there, I want to apply some mothers all around here and here, here. You know what I'm saying? The back of here. And here, not on here, not on this rosewood, but everywhere else. Everywhere else on the sides. This stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We've cleaned it off. Now it's time to savor it. Savor the flavor, and this can keep on drying, you know what I mean? Every now and then I'm seeing these little pockets come up with the grease. And we'll let that keep going a couple days before we put on some wax there. We'll talk about that later. Let's do this first. And I'll see you there. Alright, so we got it super shiny. Super shiny, man. Mirror image, man. Mirror image, man. It's really looking nice now, man. On top of that, we waited 1 week. Everything is nice and shiny. Shiny. Shiny, sparkly. In a week's time, this oil sort of dried out a little bit. Dried out a little bit. It got well. We wiped off all the seep out. It looks really good. We could probably leave it like that, but it'll continue to dry out. So what we're going to do, is we're going to get some of this min wax. You know what I mean? Min wax paste wax on here, man. Some clear paste wax. Just seal up the deal. That's it, man. We don't have to do anything else. So after we're all waxed up, we're going to tighten these strings, man. And I'm going to see you at the glamour shots in 1, 2. And there it is. 100% rehabilitated, reinvigorated, reinaugurated, reinstitutionated, replenished, man. I had to give it a haircut, all those wild string ends. All over the place, man. It was just unruly. Unruly. Unruly with an H, man. So the lesson, the theme of today's little shop du jour. Don't put fucking stickers on your guitar, man. If you know somebody who's about to put a sticker on their instrument or likewise to face their instrument in any silly way, just tell them not to do it. For the love of the instrument and music in general, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like tattooing somebody against their will. You know what I'm saying? Instruments have their rights too, man. I remember I had this kid over here a couple years ago. I worked with him. He's like a rich guy, you know. He had like a lot of money. His parents owned like a marina. You know what I'm saying? He had like a little house all to himself. And I remember he's like, he saw my guitars that I built, and he's like, "Hey man, maybe you can buy me a guitar, man, and like build me like a nice, you know, some wall art, you know what I mean? Put some stickers on it and stuff." And I was like, want to build one of these so you can put a sticker on it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, lots of stickers, bro. You know what I mean? Build me one of these and put a sticker on it. You know what I'm saying? That's even cooler, man. You put a sticker here, there, you know, everywhere, bro. I was like, yeah, I see how you like it, man. You like to play dumb. Why don't I just put a sticker on your mom? You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So, I've told you my tale of woe. I woed you with my tale of telling. So let's hear it. You know what I'm saying? Then we can crate ourselves up and call it a date. And then I'll say, peace be with you. What? Look after yourself. What? Peace be with you. What? Look after yourself. Peace be with you. Oh. And there it is, folks. The crate Electra ELG 310BK, something like that, man. The crate Electra ELG-01 BK. Hey, man. Can't remember everything. It's a great little instrument. I actually had to put a couple more trim springs in there. You know why? These Korean instruments use very, very cheap steel, pot metal. You know what I mean? It's garbage. Anybody who's collected any of those original reissued Electras from Korea knows about the sagging bridges. You know what I'm saying? This metal will bend because the springs aren't very strong anymore after being tensioned for so many years. And you see this thing flying up, and I was like, ooh, I was about to play it, and I saw this thing like up, you know what I mean, almost half an inch. So I just unscrewed the back, put more springs in there, and it's totally back on level, man. Totally back on Levi helm. Lovely instrument though, man. That's probably why it happens. I've been playing it so much. All the functions work, man. Love it though. So anyway, man, let's talk about the big swindle, man. The big swindle starts off as a story like this, man. Now, back in the year like 2000, I was one of the first people on the block with one of those CD burners. I actually got it in 1999. I copy CDs. So I would reach out to people on trading sites on the internet, big trades, like rare CDs, bootlegs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of like sets of, you know what I mean, songs that, you know what I mean, or releases that were not too easy to come by, you know what I'm saying? Good stuff, man. So I got this CD set, this four CD set called Songs We're Singing. This featured like all the original versions of every song the Beatles ever covered throughout their career, both recorded and like reported to be recorded, you know what I'm saying? From Let It Be all the way back to like in their living rooms in Liverpool, man. It such a great set. Because some of those stuff, especially the BBC years, I never heard. I became a huge fan of Arthur Alexander. After that, you know what I mean? I got like Arthur Alexander's anthology, and I just became a huge fan of him. I was like, wow, man, Arthur Alexander's out of sight, Soldier of Love, Chains, Soldier of Love, Anna, and he had a bunch of other songs out, you know what I mean? The Beatles didn't even cover that, you know what I mean? Huge in my heart. But it sort of led me to like start looking for like, you know what I mean, all the original songs of all the big songs ever, because most of the big songs in our culture are all covers, you know what I mean? Somebody like Jimi Hendrix, like, oh man, this is a good song, I'm gonna make a cover of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's how like the culture in this world is, really, you know what I mean? It's borrowed and blue, man, you know what I'm saying? People besting other people's shit, man. I don't know how it feels to be Paul Anka when he hears Frank Sinatra sing My Way, you know what I'm saying? Like, good or bad. Or Neil Diamond when he hears the Monkees singing I'm a Believer every time on the radio, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I wrote that, man. I should be on there singing that, I don't know. But, there's a couple discs long, like 3 or 4 discs, then it was like 15 discs, and 30 discs, and 40 discs, and then after CD stopped, I just remembered, you know what I mean? YouTube, you know what I mean? I made my own some mental playlists. I collected all kinds of, you know what I mean, original versions of songs, stuff that you wouldn't even believe was a cover. Like, wow, that was a cover? But in finding some of these songs, I heard about the story, and I'm just going to report this because I hear that the parties might still be alive for this particular incident, and they're very litigious. This is a public incident that I've heard from several different sources on the internet. This is the way it went down, so I'm going to present it to you as the way I've read it. I might be, slightly wrong somewhere. I wasn't there, but it seems like this is what happened, man. In like the early 70s, this pretty girl, like 19 years old, like half poet, half singer, goes to Tin Pan Alley, right? And she has this notebook full of all these lyrics, these songs that she's written in her head, you know what I mean? Poems, and she's a good singer, she's very good looking, she's a little blonde girl. And she walks in the office of this guy, his name was Norman Gimbel, I believe, right? And if not, it was something like that, you know what I mean? And he's like, hey, pretty girl, he's like, middle-aged guy. His big claim to fame at that point, he pretty much took all these songs that were coming in from other countries, you know what I mean? They were big hits in other countries, and he like translated the lyrics, and he like, made English lyrics to these songs. Some became hits. His big claim to fame up to this point was a girl from Ipanema. And he wrote the English lyrics version of that, and that's where his big, hey, he's married, you know what I'm saying? He seen this pretty little girl walk through his office, like, I want to be a star. What do you got there, kid? He's seen the little notebook, this looks good, you know what I mean? Beautiful, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He's like, I'm going to take you, you know what I mean? Up to the top of most of the topmost. He starts banging the girl, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be a big star, honey. And he hooks up with this guy, Charles Fox, whose, resume was pretty much the same as his. He'd be a footnote if not for what was about to happen, to make a fortune, life fortune 2 times over on this pretty little girl, 19-year-old thing. These 2 middle-aged guys get a hold of this songbook. They write all these songs out of these ideas she wrote. This guy, Norman Gimbel, I don't know really. I guess he's like, maybe this part can go here, this part can go here. But apparently he didn't really add too much to the mix, man. He sort of like, took our lyrics and, put in this guy, Charles Fox. He's like the mixer. You know what I'm saying? He's the money maker out of the money taker. Right? From what I understand. I mean, he might have fucking, helped King James write the Bible for all the fuck I know, but it seems like he's a real fucking, anyway. So he might be alive, and I hear he's litigious, so, you know what I'm saying? Grain of salt. Right? Anyway, so, you get this girl in the studio, you know what I mean? Record this little album. And it goes nowhere. All these little songs that she wrote, you know what I mean? Whatever. But he like put her in this ironclad, like horrible contract, you know what I mean, for life. You know what I mean? And he got all the publishing, you know what I mean, for everything. And I think she got maybe like 70% of like proceeds of the record, but he got all the publishing, like 25% of the record. Some shit, I don't know. It was like some horrible deal, In the 70s started whining on, this guy broke up with his wife, you know what I mean? This girl's like, oh, now's my big chance to be with Mrs. Norman Gimbel II. He already had 5 other pieces that she didn't know about, so things just went south. You know what I mean? Eventually, he's making her tour all these little houses for nothing, for peanuts. She's like, can't I just get out of my contract and just be free? He's like, yeah, you want to be free? Just disappear, you know what I mean? Or give me $500,000 and you can be free. $500,000 with a little girl, 20 years old back then, you know what I mean? She was like, whew, so she disappeared, never performed again, because this guy, he was just that kind of guy, you know what I mean? That type, man. But about 1974, 1975, this guy sold this, one of the songs that this girl wrote, to Roberta Flack, right? This was a story about the time this girl went to see Don McLean, who, you know Don McLean. He wrote some other songs too, other than that. Not that I really could play any of them right now because I don't really know too many of them myself. I think he wrote one about a dreidel, maybe. Maybe not. It might just be like me thinking of something that Don McLean would write about, right? But he wasn't like, you know what I mean, a huge thing other than that. But that song that she wrote was about her going to see him play a song, right? And she was mesmerized by this guy, Don McLean. And that song was this song. Now what happened after that, the Fugees covered it in 1996 and had a huge hit with it, right? And this guy tried to make Lori Lieberman, her name was, the little girl, disappear. You know what I'm saying? And Don McLean wrote on his website in the early days, because Don McLean was connected, because he only wrote one good song, right? He wrote, I'm the inspiration for the new Fuji song, you know what I mean, that Roberta Flack originally did. And this guy, Norman Gimbel, like sued him, like, take that down off your website. It's not true. I don't know what you're talking about. But my man Don McLean saved some local paper from Lori Lieberman, like high school or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Where this guy was interviewed himself, like, yes, you know, she wrote this wonderful song about going to see Don McLean, and it will be the first single from her upcoming record. You know what I mean? I'm Norman Gimbel, I'm her manager, call me up if you want to see her. Right? And that was what unraveled Norman Gimbel's whole 2 lifetime thing, bullshit on this poor little girl, man. This little fucking love slave. Lori Lieberman, God bless you, man. Peace be with you. Don McLean, peace be with you. Charles Fox, Norman Gimbel, man. You guys like fucking suck, man. Sorry about that. But maybe not you, Charles Fox. You might have just been like a fucking rube, man. You might have been ripped off too, man. Charles Fox, if you're still alive, man, peace be with you. Anyway, see you guys next week for another stickered bickered, man. Stickered and bickered, man. Not the right way to be, man. Don't put it on your instrument. Don't ever do it, man. Don't do it. Don't ever put stickers on your guitar.